we shall study about a relation between kinetic energy and momentum. Just now we have learned the derivation for kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Now what is m? M is the mass of the body and v is the velocity with which the body is traveling. This is the expression for kinetic energy. In 9th standard, we have learnt an expression for linear momentum. Now, linear momentum is denoted by the letter P. And linear momentum is given by the expression m into v. Linear momentum is the product of mass and velocity. This is the expression we have learnt. Now, we have to relate both kinetic energy and linear momentum. Now, so kinetic energy K is equal to half mv square, P is equal to mv. Now, therefore, from this expression P is equal to mv, what will be V is equal to? V is equal to P by M. Now, what I will do? I will substitute the value of V in kinetic energy expression. Therefore, kinetic energy will be equal to half into m into, it is v square, so it will be p by m whole square. Now if you simplify this, how much you will get? Kinetic energy is equal to half m p square by m square. Now 1 m is getting cancelled. How much you are left? Kinetic energy is equal to p square by 2m. This is the relation between kinetic energy and the linear momentum. You can write it either way also. Now here p square will be equal to 2m into kinetic energy. Or you can write p is equal to square root of 2m k. So these are the two important formulae you have to remember. What is this? This is the relation between kinetic energy and momentum. Now let us learn a very important theorem, work energy theorem. Here is the statement of the theorem. The work done by a force on a moving body is equal to increase in the kinetic energy. Now suppose I have a body here, this is already moving, it is already moving and I will apply force in the direction of motion. This is the force applied on the body in the direction of motion. Then naturally what happens? The body will gain acceleration, the force will accelerate the body. Now there is work done on the body, we have to prove that that work done is equal to increase in the kinetic energies. Now, to derive the expression for work energy theorem, let us consider a body of mass m. Let a body of mass m moving with the initial velocity u. So, a body of mass m, it is moving with the initial velocity u. Now, I will apply a force F on the body. Now when I apply a force in the direction of motion, then what I told? The body accelerates, means the velocity increases. Let us take that velocity, that is the final velocity, as a v. Now what is the acceleration of the body? The acceleration of the body will be equal to a. Now by the time everything happens, then the body would have covered some distance and that displacement or distance will be equal to s. Once again I repeat, let us consider a body of mass m moving with the initial velocity u. I am applying force on the body. This is body of mass m and it is moving with initial velocity u. I will apply force, then the velocity changes to v. So there is acceleration acting on the body. What is the distance covered by the body? The distance covered is equal to s. Now, again we shall calculate what will be the work done in this case. So let us go back to the expression. Work done will be equal to F into S. Already I have told you F will be equal to ma by Newton's second law of motion. Now we shall see what is the expression for displacement, or what is the expression for displacement when the body is accelerating. For that again we have to use the third equation of motion only. So here I can write F is equal to ma, and for displacement what I need to do, I have to take the third equation of motion. V square is equal to u square plus 2as. Now here what is the initial velocity? Initial velocity is u only. Final velocity is v only. What is the acceleration? A. This is the displacement. Now from this, can you get an expression for displacement? S will be equal to v square minus u square. V square minus u square by 2a. This will be the expression for displacement. So substitute the value of F and S in this expression for work done. W will be equal to ma into v square minus u square by 2a. Now if you just open the brackets and simplify, how much you will get? Ma into v square by 2a minus u square by 2a. Let me write it for you. V square by 2a minus u square by 2a. Now on simplification, how much you will get? This will be a gets cancelled, half m v square. Again here a get cancelled, half m u square. Now here v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity. Now this is the expression for kinetic energy, so I can write it as a final kinetic energy. This is initial kinetic energy. So W will be equal to difference in the kinetic energies. Final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. This is the expression for work energy theorem. So once again we shall go back to the statement. The work done by force on a moving body is equal to increase in the kinetic energy. Here if you take the difference in final difference in the kinetic energies, then you will get increase in the kinetic energy. So this is the expression for work energy theorem. So what will be Kf? Final kinetic energy is equal to half m v square. Initial kinetic energy will be equal to half m u square. That's it. So now we have learned expressions for gravitational potential energy, kinetic energy. We have also learned relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum and work energy theorem. All these are very, very important expressions, and you need to learn the derivations also. Now let us just mention or know which are the types of kinetic energy. In kinetic energy we have three types. We have translational kinetic energy. Then we have rotatory kinetic energy. And we have rotational kinetic energy, and then vibrational kinetic energy. Now as I have told you, kinetic energy is nothing but the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion. And there are various types of motion. The body can have translational motion, the body can have rotational motion, and the body can have vibrational motion also. So what example we can give for translational motion? Translational motion is nothing but linear motion where all the particles of the body will be traveling in the same direction. You can just imagine a car traveling on a road. So a car traveling on a road will have translational kinetic energy. The car is already moving and it will have kinetic energy. So all the particles of the car are moving along with the car, and hence we can tell that the car will have translational kinetic energy. The moving car has translational kinetic energy. Now rotational kinetic energy, what example you can give? Any body which is undergoing rotational motion, a spinning top, a fan, the blades of a fan rotating. So here we have rotational motion, and the body which is having rotational motion also has kinetic energy. So what type of kinetic energy it will have? It will have rotational kinetic energy. Now if you just take a string which is vibrated, then when the string is set to vibration, the body vibrates, and because of the vibration it will have some kinetic energy, and that is called vibrational kinetic energy. So you can mention different examples for translational kinetic energy, rotational kinetic energy, and vibrational kinetic energy also. So whatever I have told in all these things, expressions for potential energy, kinetic energy, expressions for potential and kinetic energies, relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum and work energy theorem, all these are very, very important, and you need to focus on this.